Hi, Cristi Amble here, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about goal setting. Goal setting for me is different than something as a resolution. Resolution is what people do at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year for the next year, and a huge percentage of them don't even follow through. By the end of January, they've all gone out the window. It's like, well, that was worth a shot, and that's the end of that. For me, that's not a goal. A goal is when you have something in mind that you want to achieve and you make a plan and you do it. So with that said, it takes certain mindset. You can see the different mindset between a resolution and a goal from what I just said. The thinking that goes into it, the process is different. All right, so you need to have a good mindset to go along with goal setting. And to be able to achieve that kind of mindset, you need to be around like-minded people. If you are wanting to get healthy and fit, you would go to the gym and you would be around other people who are being healthy and getting fit. You wouldn't go to the candy store and hang out with the people eating candy at the candy store. It's just not like-minded there, so you can understand my example. There's nothing wrong with the candy store. So another way, being around like-minded people, reading. There's so many books out there, inspirational books that have to do with any kind of goal that you're trying to achieve, whether it's weight loss or financial. If you're trying to learn how to cook, there's plenty of cookbooks out there and different ways to make an awesome recipe. I have to have recipes when I cook. I'm not good at just doing it from scratch, all by myself. Yeah, not me. So anyways, I have to have a recipe to follow. So I like to find good quality cookbooks to pull from. Now, of course, a cookbook, you don't just sit down and read like you would another book, but you get the point. Also, there are audios you can listen to. And I know that in the financial, like the online business world, there are lots of audios out there. There's lots of podcasts that talk about financial or successful people interviewing other successful people. Those are the kind of things you'll want to listen to. Same with weight loss. I'm sure there are lots of audios out there saying how people have done it. There's even TV shows, but the audios are what's important because you can listen to those in your downtime. You can listen to those in the car. I like to listen to audios while I'm cooking. It helps me stay focused. The kids are out of the kitchen, I'm cooking, and I'm listening. It's like multitasking. It works really well for me. So doing those things will help change your mindset so you can really hone in and focus on your goal and achieving your goal. Okay? And another thing that is important when you're getting ready to set a goal is finding out your why. It's really, really important to know why you want to achieve the goal. All right, let's use weight loss for an example. Why do you want to lose 25 pounds? Because I will be able to fit into my skinny clothes again. Okay, well, what will that do for you? Well, I'll be able to wear the clothes I still have in my closet. Okay, well, what will that do for you? Well, I'll feel better about myself. We're getting a little closer there. What will that do for you? I'll be able to feel good about myself. I'll be more active and I'll get to go play with my kids. And, there's the emotion. That's your why right there. You need to hold on to that why when you're going through your goal, when you're in the process of succeeding. Because when you get to a hard part and you want to quit, if you can remember your why, you're going to have a bigger chance of pushing through. Okay? And there's always going to be hard times in whatever you do. So having a good quality why with emotion attached, something that makes you just almost want to cry, that's going to help you. Now, financial abundance can be your why. Okay, well, what is that going to do for you? Well, it's going to give me freedom. It's going to give me freedom to travel. It's going to give me freedom to go places I've never been before. You know, well, what is that going to do for you? Well, I'm going to get to take my family. I'm going to take my kids to Disneyland. I've never been able to take my kids to Disneyland. And I want to see their little smiling faces when they meet their favorite characters. And so that's my why. You know, I get to see those little smiley faces on my kids' face. Is it ironic that my child just came in here and interrupted me? No, not at all. You know, she's the reason why I set my goals, and she's the reason that I keep achieving my goals little by little. So, sorry for the interruption, and we were talking about whys. So when you can get to that point of where you just want to start crying and get to the emotion, that is when you've got a solid why. And then write it down, okay? Post it where you can see it every single day. Read it every single day. Read it 2 times every single day. These things will help your mindset, and it'll help you get through the hard times, okay? And one thing that successful people do or know is that they know what they want and not what they don't want. And it's, you know, you need to focus on what it is you want, not what it is you don't want. You might say to yourself, well, that's all I know is what I don't want. You know, I don't want to work 60 hours a week. I don't want to work at this miserable job the rest of my life. Then ask yourself, what is it going to take to make it change? And that's going to be your want. Well, if you're working 60 hours a week, I'd like to work 20 hours a week. Okay, so there's your want. Miserable job. I'd rather work for myself. Okay, there's what I want. And that's a great place to start. And then once you have, once you know what you want, you can make a plan and take action. And it's really important to keep a journal of all your successes. As you keep this journal of your successes, again, this will be another tool that you can use when you are in a moment of wanting to give up, feeling like you can't do it. You can go back and read in your journal and see how you have already pushed through difficult times and grown. You know, if you grow during those times, you can grow now, and you can be your own inspiration right there. So it's really important to be able to see your own growth. All right, so now you are ready to set some goals. Now, the goals that I use is called a SMART goal. All right, it's a little formula that was taught to me, and I want to teach it to you. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. Okay, so I am going to use 2 examples. I'm going to use the weight loss example, and I'm going to use a financial example, like make money. All right, so specific. You need to be specific about what it is you want. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to make $1 million. Okay, I want to make $5,000. All right, those are specific goals. You can also be very specific about where and when and why and who you'll be with when you achieve those goals. And you write that down, all right? Write it down. Now, you need to check it and make sure it's measurable. All right, with a goal of 10 pounds. Is it measurable? Yes, you can measure it with a scale. The financial, yes. You can measure it with whatever income you have coming in at a certain time. A is for achievable. Now, this is an important question because is this goal actually achievable? I want to lose 10 pounds. Yes, that is achievable. I want to make $1 million. that's not necessarily achievable. I mean, it is, but probably not in the time frame that you're wanting. And if you want to look, you got to make smaller goals anyways. And there's a process called chunking down, and I'll explain that in a minute. So, but anyways, you want to start with achievable. I want to make $5,000. Okay, that's more achievable. So is it realistic? You want to make sure it's realistic in a time frame. So you can kind of jump forward to the timed. So I want to make $5,000 in a month. I want to lose 10 pounds in a month. I keep hitting my desk and it's wiggling the camera. And so is that realistic? Is your time frame realistic? Yes, it's realistic. I can lose 10 pounds in a month, and I can measure it by a scale. I can weigh myself every week and make my progress, and that makes it achievable and it's specific. I want to make $5,000 in 1 month. Is that realistic? Is it a realistic time? 5,000 in a month? Yes. $1 million in a month? No, probably not. And is it achievable, which we just talked about? Realistic and achievable, kind of the same, but achievable more has to do with is it's possible. Like, can I lose 265 pounds? Well, that's not achievable for me because I don't even weigh that much, So it could be a realistic goal for somebody, but it's not an achievable goal for me. And it's not realistic also. So, but back to being measurable, you can measure your progress weekly or bi-weekly or however in a timed amount of time and a specific. So time, realistic, achievable, measurable, specific. All right. Now it's important that you keep it achievable and realistic, because a big goal is good, but a realistic goal is better. Now, if you have a big goal, you're going to want to learn a process called chunking down. What you do is you write down your big goal at the top of the paper. I want to make $1 million. Okay? Now, right underneath that, you're going to ask yourself, what must I get done before I can achieve that goal? And when the answer comes to your mind, you're going to have to write that down. So I'm going to need to learn how to X, Y, and Z. Ask yourself again, what must I get done before I can achieve that goal? Well, maybe you need to go to school or buy some products that will teach you. Those are the different things that you might need to do to learn what you need to do to get your $1 million. And keep asking yourself that question over and over and over again until you get down to a realistic and achievable goal. Now you have your steps to reach your big goal. See how simple that is? So you make things achievable by chunking down. You have laid out stepping blocks for you to get there. And you can write in a journal and follow this path, and you can get there by following each one of those. So, anyways, I hope that you got some value out of this today. And I hope you can think about what kind of goals you'd like to set in your life today. Think about what can you do to make your life this much better, and how can I get there? And I hope you do it because you deserve it. All right. Have a great and wonderful day. Goodbye.